this week, the best in the industry.
Ready. Welcome to another episode of the Don Davis Real Estate Show. It's your host, Don Davis of DDLRG, brokered by EXP. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. Upon that rock, He built this church. Upon that rock, we have built our business. And our results are a reflection of our character. If you'd like to verify that for yourself, feel free to log on to our website at any time. You can also check us out on Redfin, Zillow.com, and also HomeLight, where you can also find some of our reviews there as well. What you'll find is typically when you evaluate a real estate agent, you have to go back to ask your friends and neighbors and things like that. But with technology and how it is now, we simply take care of our existing clientele, and the referrals keep coming. That's why we have selected to go on 100.7 The Word FM. The Word is built on the rock. And like I say, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. Upon that rock, He's built this church. Upon that rock, we have built our business. Today is Christmas. It's the Sunday before Christmas. And what's very important to us in our business is that we always give honor to God and how He's helped our business. And that's why we want to go ahead and share some things that we have learned in our business that have kind of conveyed over not just into the business standpoint, but also into the spiritual standpoint as well, where we understand the business of trust. Texas Real Estate Commission, when you go to take your real estate exam, the first thing they ask you is, are you going to be able to provide a loyalty for your clients? Are you going to be able to provide a good character reference to where there's consumer confidence and the ability to trust you to help them buy or sell a home? And it's very important to have that trust. We're not just tooting our own horn. I think the main thing is no matter who you work with, make sure it's somebody that you trust with the biggest decision of your life, and that's the decision to buy or sell real estate. And so you say, well, Don, you know, why are you going all emotional on us? Why are you going with trust? I mean, this is a business transaction, and we don't want to go all emotional when it comes to buying or selling a home. Well, and then I asked myself, I said, well, let's go ahead and break down a few places or areas in business where we look to trust people. And I thought about when we go to a restaurant and we at a 5-star restaurant and we place an order, we are not going behind that kitchen door to see what's being prepared for us. We're trusting that chef in that kitchen to wash their hands, to go ahead and provide a healthy meal for us. That way we can go ahead and leave and feel confident about what was prepared for us that's going to make us nutritionally healthy and not sick. So that's the first thing I noticed trust in, was being a chef. We have to trust the chef to prepare the meal for us. Then also, if you are a drinker and you go to a bar, you trust a bartender to make you a drink. You don't look over the bartender's shoulder and say, hey, what are you putting in that glass? Or what are you doing this? What are you doing that? You're trusting that bartender to prepare something that will not kill you. And then also, if you go to the mall, if you're planning on shopping for the holidays, when you get to that mall, 9 times out of 10, they're going to have an escalator or an elevator there that will be able to help you transition from one part of the mall to the next. We're going to have to trust that elevator works. We're going to have to trust that escalator works, that we're not going to fall down 10 flights of stairs going from one store to the next. And last but not least, when we go to the airport, when we go to travel for the holidays, we're going to have to trust that the pilot knows exactly how to go ahead and get the plane off the ground and at the same time get it back onto the ground smoothly. So trust is very important in business. As a society, we limit ourselves when we don't trust. We have to trust our partners in business. We also have to trust our mentors and coaches to help us get to the next level. So it's very, very important that we understand if we want to grow in any form of real estate businesses, we have to trust. We have to trust an agent to sell our home. We have to trust an agent to help us buy our home. We have to trust a mentor or coach to help us grow our real estate business. You need a broker or a mentor or something like that to help you grow your business. And then you also need to be able to trust the consumers. I mean, the consumer confidence is one of the avenues we check daily to make sure that the confidence is good, because that's a direct reflection on the housing market. If you want to guide to the interest rates, if you want to guide to what's going on to the economy, you always want to check the consumer confidence and the housing index go hand in hand, because it's all about the trust we have in leadership at the White House. So when it's all said and done, keep in mind, if you want to have any type of success in life, you have to trust who you're doing business with. But at the same time, you also have to trust that they're going to do what's best for you. We're going to go ahead and go down the first break. Love where you live, love where you work. Trust who you live with, trust who you work with. Don Davis Luxury Realty Group. I am Don Davis of DDLRG Luxury International Real Estate, and when it's time to make a business decision about your residence, please keep in mind, it's a Don deal.
You want to excel, Don Davis is a great guy to work for. I mean, he's a great teacher and a great leader.
He's more than family. He's the guy that's actually helping me roll. I didn't know anybody when I moved out here. He's the guy rolling his sleeves up saying, come on, let's go move what you got to move.
When it's time to make a business decision about your residence, it's a Don deal. We're back. Don Davis of Don Davis Luxury Realty Group, brokered by EXP, live at sunny South Houston, Texas, 6161 Savoy, talking about trust, talking about trusting your realtor to help you make the biggest decision of your life, trusting your hairdresser to where you don't mind spending money with them before your daughter's wedding or something like that. Just knowing the importance of doing business with somebody you trust, trusting the leadership in the White House to to establish your overall consumer confidence in the United States. So everything goes back to trust, and you'll find out that if you have no trust, you don't have anything. And that's at a national economy all the way down to your local household. If you have a budget and you're budgeting with your spouse, you have to trust each other to budget successfully to help take your family to that next level. So we want to make sure that whoever you work with in the Texas Real Estate Commission or decide to work with, make sure you have some trust there. But at the same time, make sure you do your due diligence to make sure that what you have prayed for has come to fruition. I tell everybody, people say, well, man, I trust somebody once and I got burned. Usually it starts with the prayer life, man. If you pray for something and then you listen and then the person that you end up interviewing checks off on all three aspects, and guess what? Now you can trust God to go ahead and move forward, because a lot of times we're putting all of our trust in man when we also should be trusting in God first. So you definitely want to make sure you have some trust there. And at the same time, you also want to know that the person that's helping you transition from one point to the next is prepared. So what I mean prepared to help you transition is through several programs we have. First program we have is called our Seller Assistance Program, where we help you sell your home or lease your existing home on a move up. A move up means, hey, I'm in a $200,000 home now. I'm going to go ahead and move up to a $400,000 home. I would like to sell my home quickly as possible and move up to the next home. Guess what? We have some discounted programs that we offer. It's called a seller assistance program, or sometimes you might not want to sell that home and you just want to lease that home. We can go ahead and find you a tenant at no time, in no time. That way you can go ahead and transition to the next property. Also, if you're leasing a home or an apartment, then you can go ahead and let us know that as well. 9 times out of 10, you have what we call a reletting charge in that lease. And in that lease, we're willing to go ahead and accommodate you by helping you pay for that reletting charge if you are moving up once again. So that's 2 programs that help us set ourselves apart. And then also we have the iBuyer program. The iBuyer program is a new program that basically they're internet-based investors that will go ahead and give you cash for your home at a discounted rate, so you can go ahead and move on to the next phase of your life if you don't have the money to go ahead and fix up your house and things like that. So we want to make sure you trust us to help you transition from one point to the next. It's all about what we call money in motion. Money in motion is saying, hey, I'm taking money out of this box, put it in that box to where I can go ahead and move forward with my life to make my life easy as possible for my family. So we're going to go ahead and go to our next break. Once again, love where you live, love where you work, DDLRG. I am Don Davis of DDLRG Luxury International Real Estate, and when it's time to make a business decision about your residence, please keep in mind, it's a Don deal.
DDLRG is for all family groups, whether it's singles, married couples, or families. They specialize, however, in the higher-end upscale properties, but they can handle all borrowers.
We want to create raving fans.
When it's time to make a business decision about your residence, it's a Don deal. We're back. Don Davis at Don Davis Luxury Realty Group, broker by EXP. Broadcasting live, 6161 Savoy, sunny South Houston, Texas, the Sunday before Christmas. And I felt like what a better time to talk about consumer confidence and the fact that we are all trusting God for something this Christmas, and at the same time, how we cannot function in life without trust. It's very important that we have trust. And one of the things that came to my attention this week is the gym I go to. A good friend of mine, he has lost his eyesight, and he's able to do everything in the gym. He's probably in better shape than everybody else in the gym because he's very consistent at coming to the gym and doing everything in the gym. I mean, from the treadmill to the sauna to the steam room to the hot tub, he does everything everybody else does at the gym, and he's completely blind. And people say, well, Don, that doesn't sound right. And I was like, how does he get through life on a daily basis? And basically, he has to trust people. I know we come from a generation of me against the world, me against all y'all. We don't need nobody. It's you only live once, me, myself, and I. But when it's all said and done, I've seen him in a situation that he has to live in a permanent place of trust. And I realized by him trusting people, he's able to do everything in the gym that everybody else is doing. Now, if he didn't trust anybody, he would sit in one area in the gym and wouldn't be able to do anything else but that particular activity. So I think it's very important that we trust experts in any career field. And also, it's an AT&T commercial out right now. The nurse comes in and he said, how's the doctor? He said, he's okay. And then the patient says, I want more than okay. And, so I totally get it. We definitely need to trust an expert or professional for our business, but we also need to realize that the beginning of trust comes with prayer and confirmation of what we're praying for. And that way, when the solution to our prayer does arrive, we know for a fact that this is what this was God sent. So it's very important that and people say, how does this tie to real estate? It ties to real estate because the first thing we talk about when you get your real estate license is obedience, loyalty, disclosure, and trust. You have old car. You can Google Texas Real Estate Commission, old car, and the fact that if you don't have any trust for your clients, you don't have anything. You don't have a relationship. We call it it's a customer-based relationship until you have some loyalty and trust. So, and you say, well, what is trust? It seems like it's such a hard word. It seems like a relationship-based word. But when it's all said and done, it's a simple word. It's consumer confidence. Do my clients have confidence in me to help them make the best decision they could possibly make when it comes to buying or selling a home? And it's very important that you find a realtor you trust. I joke all the time because some luxury agents, speaking of luxury agents, big transition just happened. Doug Elliman from New York just bought John Daugherty Realty today. And John Daugherty's been in Houston 70-something years, one of the top boutique luxury firms. They actually trained Martha Turner. Martha Turner worked for John Daugherty at one time. But Doug Elliman out of New York just bought them. And the reason I bring that up is because people say, well, are you going to go with the smartest realtor? And it's very good to go with a well-educated realtor. But I have seen, especially in the higher end clientele, where they go get a real estate license and their first client is $1 million customer. And I say, well, was this based on the fact that this person was brilliant, or was this based on the fact that they know that they can trust this person with this decision? So no matter what you do, make sure you find somebody you trust to do business with. The consumer confidence that we must have in our colleagues is great, and it helps us transition to the next level. And at the same time, partnering. I mean, me personally, I had a story where I was supposed to be buying a real estate office and was promised ownership and was promised a certain amount of shares, but didn't have a chance to get it in writing. And then I said, you know what, I'm done with partnerships. I'll never partner again. And I found that what I did was I limited myself because I have a colleague who got in real estate after me with partners and has quadruple my business because they trust each other. So it's always good to establish a team, but as we all know, if you don't have trust within a team, you don't have anything. So the main thing is you got to have people who you work, the people you would say people you know, like, and trust, and that's going to help you take your business to the next level. I'm on my trust consumer confidence soapbox because I feel like Christmas is definitely, Jesus is the reason for the season, but it definitely is a consumer based holiday that is geared towards you spending money. And if we're going to talk about spending money, I'm always talking about the housing index, consumer confidence, and what it takes to take your business to the next level. We're going to go ahead and go to our next break. Don Davis Luxury Realty Group, broker by EXP. Love where you live, love where you work. DDLRG. I am Don Davis of DDLRG Luxury International Real Estate, and when it's time to make a business decision about your residence, please keep in mind, it's a Don deal.
I thought that Don Davis was honest and fair. He made us feel like family.
He was very communicative and very informative.
He just helped me to make it very easy, pointed me in the right directions, and gave me a lot of information about what to look out, for.
When it's time to make a business decision about your residence, it's a Don deal. We're back. Another episode of Don Davis Real Estate Show. Hey, we talked about trust today, about consumer confidence, about what's going on this Christmas season and why we need to be grateful. And at the same time, we also need to be prepared for a delivery. They talked to Pastor Nick Nielsen at Lakewood Church talked about today how we often pray for things and then we look for things, but we need to pray and listen. Because sometimes what we think is going to take a long time to happen happens right away, especially when you trust God to go ahead and be your provider. And I talked also about some things that we trust in. We trust in elevators and escalators. We trust in pilots. We trust in bartenders. We trust in chefs. But do we trust our realtor to help us make the biggest decision of our life? And then at the same time, do we trust their credentials? Do we trust the fact that some people are more qualified than the others? Or does qualification even matter? Do you just want somebody that you've known your whole life? If I have a realtor that has lived next door to me 20 years and then I have a realtor that has a quadruple the designations, does that necessarily mean I should go with that realtor just because they have more education? No, I want to go ahead and go with the person that has a personal relationship with me. That way I know that after the transaction, they will not disappear. Also, I wanted to retouch on the fact that we have a seller assistance program. So if you are selling your home, you need to buy a home, and we need us to help you transition by giving you somewhat of a discount on the sale or lease of a home. We can help you in that aspect. Also, if you are leasing an apartment or a house, we do have a buyout program where we can assist you with the reletting fee and that aspect. And then last but not least, we have the iBuyer program where we can actually partner you with a cash investor who can buy your home right away as is. So want to make sure that you realize you can trust us in all aspects of that transition. And at the same time, let you know that we are confidently helping consumers every day. And you say, well, how are you doing that, Don? From the last week, from 7 days ago to today, we have put several properties under contract. That property I told you we were holding open right after the show last week on Holderreith. That property on Holderreith in 249 is now under contract. That's 4 acres right off of 249 in Holderreith. We left here. We burnt out the parking lot, went out there doing open house, had a buyer come out and make an offer. And then we also went ahead and leased that home we had in Willie Melton in Kindleton. That property is now leased. That actually helped somebody out who was in a very bad situation, a domestic situation. And now they are good to go in Kindleton. And then also we've helped another client. She's been leasing in the Heights for quite some time, and now she's ready to own. So 77007 is where she plans on moving, and she's definitely scheduled to close by Martin Luther King Day. And then we also have another property out in Katy, first-time home buyer who wanted to be right at her budget, and she is achieving her budget. So that all went under contract this week. And then we still have available properties. We have 7827 Bobbitt Heights Lane, 675 going off I-10 and Work. We also have the condo we have in the Mosaic on Alameda. And then we will be hosting an open house today from 1:30 to 3:30 on Plantain Lily Court out in Pearland. That's 2001 Plantain Lily Court out in Pearland. 2001 Plantain Lily Court out in Pearland, going for $465. We will be there from 1:30 to 3:30 today. And then we do have some 7 townhouse lots available for any of the developers who would like to build closer to NRG. It'd be a great area for bed and breakfast. I know anytime there's some type of event going on at NRG, you want to be able to Airbnb, and those will be some great properties for that. So that's a 10700 Main Street. And then also have a lot on Bay Street in Trinity Gardens. So if you're looking to be a part of that revitalization act in Trinity Garden, you want to go ahead and check out that property we have on Bay Street. All these properties can be found on our website, viewallhoustonhomes.com. That's viewallhoustonhomes.com. And we definitely can also offer you a complimentary market analysis if you're looking to know the value of your home. A lot of times before we even put a property on the market, we do recommend you get an appraisal, and that way you can help transition from one property to the next without wasting time on the market, because days on the market are just expensive as price reductions. When it's all said and done, you do have holding costs, and those holding costs can backfire against you. So that's those are the properties we have on the market this week. You say, well, Don, you have those on the market during the Christmas holidays. Yes, you'd be surprised. We'd like to make it a December to remember, and that means sometimes people are buying their spouses homes for Christmas. Sometimes they're buying cars for Christmas. But when it's all said and done, keep in mind, Christmas is Jesus' birthday. Even though we try to make it a consumer-based holiday, but keep in mind it is Jesus' birthday. So make sure you take a good 24 hours off on December 25th to enjoy that time with your family and establish the trust that we need to go ahead and become the trust we need to go ahead and establish generational wealth. I think it's very important that families stick together, and when families stick together, they grow together, and they're able to bounce ideas off of each other to help them transition from one point to the next, especially if you're a part of SHEBA, the State of Housing in Black America. But once again, we talked about trust today, and trust, if you define it as simply consumer confidence and the ability to help one person transition from one point to the next, and the fact that none of us can do anything without trust. We have to trust the elevator when we leave the studio today. We have to trust the traffic signal when we get on the road today. We have to trust the brakes to stop the car. We have to trust the pilot if we plan on traveling for the holidays. But when it's all said and done, we have to trust God with our lives, with our finances, to help us really enjoy life and take it to the next level. Then I also talked about the fact that I go to the gym with a good friend of mine who was able to do every exercise in the gym completely blind, because he has to trust complete strangers to help him from one exercise to the next. And at the same time, we come from a generation that tells us trust no one. Matter of fact, I think it's a clothing line out there, trust no one, and then me against the world, this, that, and the other. But when it's all said and done, it's foolishness. And when it's all said and done, if you want to help your life go from one point to the next, you have to surround yourself with people you know, people you like, and people you trust. That's it for us this week. Don Davis Luxury Realty Group. Keep in mind, when it's time to make a business decision about your residence, it's a Don deal.
Do business with the best in the industry. Do business with the Davis Realty. Do business with the best in the industry. Do business with the Davis Realty. With the best in the industry. Do business with the Davis Realty. Do business with the best in the industry. Do business with the Davis Realty. Do business with the best in the industry. Do business with the Davis